Once you have completed your rough draft, it's time to transfer the letter and the dividing lines that divide up your patterns onto your metal for the metal tooling. The metal we are going to be using are 5" by 5" pieces of aluminum. They are a little bit fragile, so if you bend it, it will bend pretty easily. And if you try to unbend it, you'll always see that bend. So you do have to be kind of careful with it. The ends are not sharp necessarily, but if you are not careful and you kind of slide your finger, you can get like a paper cut, but it's a little bit deeper than that. So just be very careful and be very careful with this. So this is the same on both sides. In order to put our names on these, you can't just take a pencil or a pen and write your name, because that's going to leave an imprint. So the way we're going to put our names on these is to take a piece of tape, and I'm going to use a Sharpie on the tape because pencil tends to come off of the tape eventually. So first and last name and your class number. Now notice how I'm writing it on the tape before I put it on the project. You rip off a piece of tape, put it on the metal, and then write. It's the same as if you were writing it directly. It will leave an impression. So write it first. And then place it on your project. Okay, so that's the back. This is the front. So the way that you're going to do this, if you're tracing this onto here, have the fronts facing in the same direction. Flip it over so you have the backs facing in the same direction. And it can be a little hard. I can clearly see this. I'm not sure how well it's picking it up in the video, but you're looking for that black box, and you are going to line your aluminum up with the black box as best as you can. Once it's lined up, you're going to tape it into place. So that's enough. You don't have to tape it completely because this is temporary. You can turn it over, make sure it does line up when you look through it. Okay. Now, if you were to try to just trace directly right now on a hard table, the metal has nowhere to go. When you push down, there's no give. It's just hard. So what you need is a piece of felt. You take one piece of felt and you can fold it in half so it's even softer. So it's 2 pieces of felt. And this is squishy. When you push into this, there's some give to it. So you're gonna put this underneath. Okay. And we're just gonna use a pencil. If you have a pen, you can use that too. And we are going to trace the letter, putting a good amount of pressure. Be careful because there's no erasing. If you mess this up, it will transfer. Now you're not going to want to trace all of your patterns because you want to be able to see what you're doing with the metal and how it reacts. But you are going to trace your dividing lines. So the lines that break up the patterns. Okay. You can see already that it's looking 3-dimensional. So when you are finished tracing the letter and the pattern, you can then take it off of the rough draft carefully. So you're going to remove the tape. Careful not to bend your metal. There you go, it transferred. And you can see when you turn it from different angles, it shines in different ways, and it is a bit three-dimensional. Now it's time to start making it, adding the details and making it even more 3D.